A Pittsburgh punk venue was just slammed with a mosh pit related lawsuit. You know what that means. This is a job for the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper. Hit the intro. Okay, ladies, for this story, we're going to go over to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and the surrounding area because a couple months ago, there was a little bit of an incident that went down and it's starting to make the news waves these days. Now, I didn't hear about this story on any sort of aggregation site. I didn't go to Brooklyn Vegan, God help me. I didn't go out there to Lamb Goat or Loudwire or anything like this. This story came directly to my inbox from the Dan Frampton News team. Now, all you gotta do to be a part of the Dan Frampton News team is just send me some articles, send me some stories. There's a lot of stuff going on in local pockets of the United States of America and Canada and Europe that I don't have eyes on, okay? So it's great when I have boots on the ground sending me direct messages with stories. I highly welcome these kinds of direct messages on my Instagram. So if you want to be a part of the Dan Frampton News team and you think that you have a scoop, you can send it to me directly, Dan Frampton, all one word, the O's a zero, over there on Instagram. So thank you so much for the news team for showing up and turning out for this one over here. We're going to Pittsburgh City Paper for this headline. Punk venue 222 Ormsby hit with mosh pit lawsuit. Mosh pit lawsuit. Those are not words that you ever like to see grouped together in a sentence. Ever, ever, ever. I can't imagine a situation or a sentence or any sort of linguistic situation where I like this set of words. Anyway, moving on. Personally, I've never been to the 222. I'm not from Pittsburgh. I'm from somewhere a little bit north of there. It's not really too far away from me, to be honest. Maybe one day I'll drive my way through Ormsby. But today is not the day. Today we're just driving through digitally, and 222 Ormsby is essentially, you know it, a punk venue where they have shows like this. There's a little stage, people come together, they listen to the music, they talk, they meet new friends, they have a good time. They do a little bit of moshing, and moshing can get a little bit rowdy sometimes, right? And it looks like things may have gotten a little bit too rowdy with the uninitiated a couple months ago. So we're gonna go over to the Pittsburgh City Paper and we're just gonna read a section from this article. The article is much longer. I'll try to remember to leave a link for it in the description, but if not, you can search it up real quick. It's a big old article, but this is the only part that I need for this video. Quote, on February 28th, a woman named Oceana Orth filed a report with the Mount Oliver Borough Police stating that she endured a mosh pit related injury at a recent Ormsby show that landed her in the emergency room. The report states that an unknown male attendee, whom Orth speculates could have been underage, began moving his arms around to hit Orth's face, knocking her to the ground, but not causing her to lose consciousness. According to the report, Orth was unable to see out of her right eye after the incident, and upon being transported to the hospital, she was diagnosed with a fractured nasal bone, fractured orbital bone, and abrasion to her cornea. The charges were filed as simple assault, but no police were called to the venue on the night of the injury. It took another 3 months for this unfortunate, yet at hardcore shows relatively common occurrence to become a matter of public interest. On May 28th, 222 Ormsby announced on Instagram that they would be pausing all future event bookings at the venue. The caption asked for legal assistance if anyone could help, and shortly thereafter, a PayPal donation link began making the rounds on social media. The venue hasn't provided any further details about the case, and a representative of 222 Ormsby declined to comment on the story. End quote. And after hearing about this story, I reached out to 222 as well, and they responded and they were very reasonable. They said with this ongoing suit, they can't comment, and I understood that, of course. Thank you very much. And then they sent me a couple articles. This Pittsburgh City Paper one was the one that I got most of the information from. But most of the boots on the ground information actually came to me from the Dan Frampton News team. Tunnel was the band playing when this incident went down on February 28th. In a statement from one of my sources, which will remain anonymous, they claimed that they knew for quote-unquote a fact that the girl was told to stay away from the pit. Either way, I hate to see someone get hurt. I hate to see someone fracture their orbital bone and nasal bone and come out with actual bodily harm. That's not what we want to see. Minor cuts and bruises, some scrapes along the way, obviously, but if you're breaking someone's face, that kind of sucks, and I do kind of feel for you for that. But according to the news article and this statement, Oceana feels that the kid that hit her was underage. Now, I'm no legal expert, but I don't think that the venue has anything to do with this kid, especially with his behavior. Now, I'm sure they're gonna argue the venue didn't provide adequate security, but these kinds of venues, these kinds of shows, they don't have extra security normally. It's a DIY space. And unfortunately, I don't think that this is the first time a situation like this has occurred, because if you go to DIY spaces, they might have signs like no stage diving or mosh at your own risk. And these kind of signs seem to me like a legal necessity to get ahead of these sorts of things, because it isn't the venue's fault. And when the victim can't go after the assailant, the next entity they're likely to go after would be the venue where it all went down. Would it have went down like this if there were precautions? What can I argue? Can I sue them? And I think, personally, to throw all this kind of money at a lawsuit and to go down this road is just way more of a headache than it's worth. But I live in Canada, and in America, there's not really universal health care. So a broken face is gonna cost you a bunch of money, and when you don't have a bunch of money, you're gonna think, how can I get a bunch of money to pay for my broken face? Oh, I know, I'm gonna sue them. It's unfortunate that this kind of stuff seems to happen all the time, and it's even more unfortunate that it's happening within the sacred hallow halls of a DIY venue. I would hate to see a DIY venue go down for something that wasn't their fault, for something that they couldn't control. But again, I wasn't there, I didn't see it, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like this kid at this show, this underage slam dancer, was throwing his hands around, and he went out and made it look like an accident and hit them. And honestly, that's common practice at a hardcore show, but it's really fucking scummy to be targeting girls, to go out there and to just be hitting them in the face, because all of a sudden you're in an environment where you can just punch somebody in the face. That kind of behavior is absolutely pathetic, dude. Nothing is more cowardly, nothing shows more insecurity than targeting someone more vulnerable than you and then taking an opportunity to snipe them. So 100% in that incident and the financial ramifications from it, I can definitely empathize with the victim. However, do I think that it's fair for her to be going after the venue? Maybe not necessarily, but I wasn't there. I don't know all the specific details. All of that now is unfortunately gonna come out in court. And dude, that just fucking sucks. You get this like 15-year-old teenager or whatever just swinging his arms around. He has no idea what the fucking ramifications of these actions are gonna be, and now he gets to walk scot-free from it all. On one hand, there's a person with a broken face, and on the other hand, there's a venue that might be closing down. All because this stupid idiot kid was just throwing his hands around and targeted someone. This kid is the problem. This guy is the actual drama in this situation, and he just gets to walk away scot-free. He's just a minor. He's just a little guy. You just slap him on the wrist and you say, oh no, not like this. Behave better next time. I really hope that somebody sits that guy down and gives him a serious education. So 222 is pausing all future bookings, but there is a benefit show happening in September. They also have a PayPal link, which I'll try to remember to link below as well. So if you want to support them in person, there's the benefit show, but if you're not able to be there in person, there's a little bit of a PayPal link. They're going to be going through some legal troubles, and it's probably not going to be cheap. This situation fucking sucks. It's so messy, and now it forces 222 Ormsby. I don't know. Are they going to have to do security next time? Are they going to have to put some signs up all over the place? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know how this is going to all shake out. It's a very unfortunate situation. I just want everyone to be okay and happy and healthy and just thriving in the community, you know? But sometimes situations get a little bit out of hand like this, and it goes to where we don't want it to the cops, to the legal system. And now we have the system policing the scene, when really the scene is supposed to be the one policing the scene. When your entire face breaks and then you got all these bills, I don't know what to do in that situation. Really, I don't know, dude. I don't know at all. This shit just sucks so much ass. But what do you think about this whole situation? Have you ever been in like a mosh pit related incident? Have you ever taken it to the courts? Have you ever called the cops on a slam dancer? I want to know. Comment down below. But you've made it to the end of the video. That means you're an end gang. Please remember to hit like and press subscribe on your way out of here, and head over to moshman.bigcartel.com to read my comic books. Okay, goodbye.